YouTube, I know this is a dark, terrible video, but I just wanted to do a quick update on my gauges. Finally got them working, or at least some of them. Looks like I've got my coolant temperature gauge, my speedometer, my odometer, and my voltometer. My fuel gauge is not working, and I don't know what's going on with my oil gauge over here. But the problem was a grounding issue, as some of you guys suspected. I didn't do anything different underneath the hood with the wiring there and the plugs, so that seems to be pretty much correct, except for the oil gauge. I think that's supposed to come through the serial data line, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But the fuel gauge is separate from everything else, so I'm gonna have to wire that from a different harness. I think there's a purple wire that comes back from the fuel tank. But check it out, my speedometer works and everything, we're good to go. So exactly what happened is I was missing the E7 and H7 grounding wires going to the C2 plug in the fuse box that's under the hood just over here. So when I was wiring that C2 plug, what I was doing was looking at what the engine needed and not necessarily what the entire fuse box needed. I assumed those weren't being used, so I didn't put those back in place. But I had a voltage coming in my white and black A3 wire, I think it is, or A9 wire. I'm not sure exactly what pin it is, but it's the black and white ground wire. I had a voltage coming through there, and I was like, well, that's not right. So I started backtracking it, found out it ended up going to that C2 plug and then being a ground. So what I did was I popped a wire in there and grounded it out to the body real quick, plugged in my gauges, and everything works. So check it out. We got the speedometer and everything. As I start to drive, you can see I definitely got my speedometer, and seems to be working. My temperature gauge is definitely working too, because that's going up as the engine's warming up. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I appreciate you following me, appreciate all the help. I'll work out all the rest of these gauges later, but this is a good start right here. Thank you again, YouTube.